From Hot Skatin Barbie to Depression Barbie, the iconic doll goes by many names, professions, and identities. Here's every Barbie in the Barbie movie explained. Spoilers ahead. The main Barbie, who everyone knows and loves, is played by Margot Robbie, and her special quality is literally in her name, Stereotypical Barbie. As said by her, she's exactly what you'd expect when someone would ask you to imagine Barbie. Bleached blonde hair, a fun and upbeat attitude that never breaks, and a near-perfect physique. She's literally seen as the ideal image of Barbie, which is likely why Ryan Gosling's stereotypical Ken wants to be with her. She works alongside the other Barbies in Barbie Land to maintain their ideals and sense of power, while also living in the iconic Barbie dream house. However, her ideal view of the world is broken when her former child, Gloria, starts to feel depressed about her dwindling relationship with her daughter and unfulfilling life. So she sets out on an adventure with Ken to discover that all her beliefs about Barbies inspiring women wasn't actually true in the real world. In actuality, women are continually set back by the dominating patriarchy and struggle to find positions of power as they do in Barbie Land, which crushes Barbie's spirit. However, through her efforts to take back Barbie Land and help the Barbies regain their independence after the Kens take over in her absence, Barbie ends up making self-discoveries that change her life and begins to lead a new life as a human. Maybe now she can be the ordinary Barbie that Gloria dreams of. With Barbie Land having a functioning government run by the Barbies, there must be someone on the top, right? Well, that Barbie is President Barbie, who is played by Issa Rae. President Barbie reminds everyone of her position by always having a presidential sash displayed and being the head of all the big meetings that happen in Barbie Land. President Barbie's highly viewed stature and distinctive charm show why the Barbies love and respect her as a leader. Believe it or not, there was actually President Barbie that was created for the 2012 election called the Barbie I Can Be USA President doll. While Ray's version of the doll iteration isn't heavily tied to that doll, there's actually a new Barbie doll based on President Barbie in the film that's being created. So it seems like girls of a new generation can be inspired by this new President Barbie. Despite her strengths as a leader though, President Barbie is also brainwashed by the Kens into serving their needs. Luckily, she snaps out of it like the rest of her Barbie cohorts and is rightfully reinstated in her role as president by the end of the film.
I'm Weird Barbie, I am in the splits, I have a funky haircut, and I smell like basement.
Oh my god, I had a Weird Barbie!
Yeah, you did.
While most of the Barbies in Barbie Land are what fans would expect, happy, near flawless looking, and thriving, Weird Barbie isn't as fortunate. Weird Barbie is unfortunately the result of what happens when kids play with their Barbies too hard. She has colored drawings on her face. Her hair has been cut apart and even burned a bit. And worst of all, she's stuck doing the splits and forced to live in a twisted dream house on a hill away from the rest of the Barbies. Weird Barbie's eccentric personality is a result of her being twisted and contorted by kids throughout the years. Weird Barbie is truly treated like a leper in Barbie Land, and most of the Barbies only go to see her to feel better about themselves. However, Weird Barbie ends up being the reason that the Barbies reclaim Barbie Land as she helps put together a revolt. Along with some discontinued Barbies and a couple of old Kens, Weird Barbie helps rally together the Barbies and concoct a plan to save Barbie Land from the Kens. By the end, Weird Barbie gains the recognition and respect of the other Barbies and is now seen as a true Barbie. Not all Barbies work and live on land. Some fly up into space or even exist as mermaids in the vast blue plastic sea. Mermaid Barbies, all played by Dua Lipa, are some of the most unique Barbies in Barbie Land, and they make for some very fun surprises in the film. Not only do they appear with their gorgeous colored hair and shining tails, but they genuinely give off good vibes. They're always seen saying hello to everyone on the beach, and one of them even wishes Barbie well before she goes off on her journey to the real world. There's even a mermaid Ken played by John Cena that swims alongside the Mermaid Barbies. Mermaid versions of Barbie are an iconic staple of the Barbie doll legacy and feature some of the most eye-catching designs. From their incredible color palettes to their strong style variety, there's nothing more visually memorable and mesmerizing than a Mermaid Barbie. So, although Mermaid Barbies might be stuck in the sea, they are a key part to the different ways that Barbies can be found throughout Barbie Land. The film's depiction of Barbie's history of varying looks and designs is incredibly deep and even features some versions of the character that are rarely seen, including ones with physical disabilities. Back in one of the trailers, fans could spot a Barbie that works alongside President Barbie who has a prosthetic arm. It gave some inkling that we could see more Barbies with disabilities in a movie somewhere, and luckily there's another that can be prominently seen in the film. During a couple sequences, including the film's extravagant early dance number, there can be a Barbie spotted dancing in her wheelchair.
All of these women are Barbie, and Barbie is all of these women.
As mentioned by the Barbies, they're meant to represent everything that women can be and inspire everyone to be their best selves. So the inclusion of Barbies with disabilities solidifies that ideology, and it's a great reminder of how Barbie has become a brand for everyone. It's a great nod to both Barbies with prosthetic arms and legs, as well as ones that come with wheelchairs, both of which actually exist, and a meaningful inclusion that further highlights the film's diverse depictions. As we meet the wide variety of Barbies found throughout Barbieland, we come across a Barbie making an impassioned speech in court with some powerful words and a strong conviction. This is Lawyer Barbie, played by Sharon Rooney, and she's not someone you would want to face in court. She's incredibly skilled at convincing a jury to take her side, and can easily win everyone in the courtroom over through her strong line delivery. Along with a noteworthy introduction, Rooney delivers the perfect kind of performance to make Lawyer Barbie stand out. Although she displays strong independence and a good ability to sway others, she ends up falling under the same spell that all the other Barbies do when the Kens take over. Thankfully, she's able to be snapped back to reality just in time to help the Barbies pull off their big plan. In Barbieland, every Barbie could use a great lawyer, and Lawyer Barbie should always be their first call. Among the core friend group of Stereotypical Barbie is Writer Barbie, an incredibly intellectual Barbie who has a sharp tongue and an incredible writing ability that's led to a very successful career. Played by Alexandra Shipp, Writer Barbie's work is so renowned that we see that it earned her a Nobel Prize at the beginning of the film. Given that she's the first person that Stereotypical Barbie waves hello to every morning, it's safe to say that they're pretty close. Although Writer Barbie is witty and incredibly capable of nearly anything she tries, she still manages to be brainwashed by the Kens. Though at least she's the first Barbie to be converted back. From there, she's shown to be one of the Barbie's best assets, and is a key reason that they're eventually able to turn the tables. Another incredibly intelligent member of Stereotypical Barbie's core friendship group is Physicist Barbie, a Barbie who's earned a Nobel Prize for her work in physics. This Barbie, played by Emma Mackey, doesn't get much screen time, but she does have some aspects to her outside of her career that make her stand out. Not only does she have some adorable freckles on her face, but she has a close friendship with one of the Kens, played by Ncuti Gatwa. However, that friendship takes an unfortunate turn when the Kens take over, and Physicist Barbie ends up trading out a lab coat for a maid's outfit. Thankfully, when the Barbies reclaim Barbieland, Physicist Barbie is able to return to her former life and even maintain her friendship with her favorite Ken. While we don't get to know Physicist Barbie all that well, she still maintains her role as a highly intelligent member of the Barbies and could maybe find a bigger role if a sequel ever comes.
Did you bring your rollerblades?
I literally go nowhere without them.
While it might not be a different Barbie altogether, there is a moment where we see Stereotypical Barbie deliver a nod to another iconic Barbie figure when she comes to the real world. As she and Ken enter the real world, they slide in on some sweet roller skates and wear outfits that feel like a legit throwback. A psychedelic style and bright colors are a total treat for the eyes, and actually act as a reference to a very memorable Barbie doll known as Hot Skatin Barbie. The doll debuted back in 1994 and featured the same type of clothes, style, and of course, roller skates that Barbie wears in the film. For longtime fans, it's a fantastic reference to an all-time favorite doll variant, and it's easily a part of one of the most memorable sequences of the film. Sure, it could have been cool to see someone representing Hot Skatin Barbie back in Barbieland, but Stereotypical Barbie and Ken putting on outfits in her honor is pretty rad too. There's a Barbie who might not win a ton of awards like her friends or be the most popular around town, but instead save lives, which is arguably more important. Dr. Barbie, played by Hari Neff, is one of the most important Barbies around, as she has the skills to heal and save anyone who gets injured. Whether it's a Ken who got hurt when trying to surf the plastic waves, or a Barbie who had a workplace accident, Dr. Barbie is always ready to answer the call. But that doesn't mean that she can't party and have fun like the rest of the Barbies. She too is tricked by the Kens into falling into their patriarchal ways, but is saved by her fellow Barbies. The Dr. Barbie doll is an iconic variant who embodies what Barbie is all about, being a symbol that showed that women were capable of being anything. Just like her doll counterpart, Dr. Barbie shows her importance in this world and is one of the notable standouts in the vast Barbie cast. It seems like there are a lot of award winners in this crowd of Barbies, as journalist Barbie, played by Rito Aya, has made her own achievements in journalism. She's not only a Pulitzer winner, but she's easily the top reporter in Barbieland. She's not afraid to get to the bottom of some of the hardest-hitting stories and is a great speaker in front of the camera. When the Kens do take control of Barbieland, she isn't able to maintain her stature and ends up being just another pawn in the Kens' game. But she's able to earn back her credibility once the Barbies regain power and take back her position of being the best reporter in town. As Stereotypical Barbie becomes more gutted by her views of the world being dismantled, she becomes consumed by depression. With everything that happens in Barbieland influencing Mattel's output of the dolls, it doesn't take long for a new version of the Barbie doll, called Depression Barbie, to release. And audiences are treated with a hilarious commercial centered around the dolls. These dolls cry, struggle to see the brighter side of life, and are constantly having an existential crisis about death. They embody the dark and somewhat hilarious turn that Barbie has taken in the film, and the scene leaves such an impact, you can't help but wish that these dolls were real.
Good night, Barbies. I'm definitely not thinking about death anymore.
Depression Barbie is easily one of the funniest parts of the entire film, and a darkly humorous take on the usually empowering and positive-feeling dolls. Eventually, with the help of the other Barbies and Gloria, Stereotypical Barbie is able to get out of this mental funk and find her own path forward. However, it's hard not to love what came out of Barbie's saddest moment, since Depression Barbie is probably the most unique Barbie of all.